Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Boss Babe Blog Podcast. I am your host, Katan, and CEO of BossBabeBlog.com. So today we're talking about the business networking box. So in our previous episode of season 18, we discussed the box, and it's the concept of putting people inside of a box of what you think they'll be able to do, their potential, how they might benefit you, how they may support you, just based off of where they come from or what they look like or the color of their skin, some things that are really just out of their control. And assuming that because they come from a certain place or they look like a certain thing or they believe in something, that means that they're not a good person or they're not going to be able to contribute to your life or you're not going to be able to have a meaningful and valuable relationship with them. So that was what the previous episode was about. Today we're talking about the business box. Why? Because in business, we tend to forget sometimes that someone doesn't have to spend money with you to be a silent or loud supporter. And those silent and loud supporters do bring income to your business. It accumulates. Word of mouth is a real thing, but not just word of mouth. Consistency, people actually feeling like they can go to you consistently. So when they are ready to spend that money, they want to shop with you because you've been consistent in the way that you've treated them, regardless of how much money they had. I'm going to use this example. When I used to work in retail, we had a customer come in, and this customer appeared as if he did not have a lot of money. He came in based off the social standard, right? So he came in, he had on a white, tank top, white beater, whatever you want to call it. But basically, he came in and he started looking around. And all of my coworkers acted as if they couldn't see him come in. They did the lazy, hey, welcome in, and then went back to what they were doing, as if there wasn't a gentleman looking in the store who needs to be assisted and we need to assess why he's here. So me being the person that I am, it does not matter what someone looks like. If I'm here to provide a service, I'm going to provide it the same quality to each person. So I walked up to this individual and I said, hi, how can I assist you today? What are you looking for? And he told me that he was looking for business suits because he has trips. He told me that he just wanted to find some new pieces for his wardrobe. And he told me he was open to different options that I would throw at him. So, not physically. So with that being said, I took all that information and I selected him head to toe looks. I got him some shoes, blazers, ties, all of that. So when I did that, he ended up purchasing almost, I'm going to say around 90% of what I selected for him. Over $1,000 worth of money was spent that day with that one customer. So we, without sharing too much information, within just one sale, I had helped us pivot to almost reaching our sales goal with one customer. So, put that into perspective. Everyone treated him like he was just a passerby outside on the streets. Had he walked in like some of our regular clients who are dressed up in suits, who have their hair looking a certain way, they would have been on them like white on rice. Hi, welcome in. How can we assist you today? What are you looking for, sir? But they assumed based off of how this person looked that he wasn't going to be able to spend the amount of money needed for them to gain sales, credit, and, help us reach our sales goal for that day. And making assumptions can be dangerous and it can cost you money at the end of the day. So just going back to that man spent over $1,000 and he selected almost 90% of what I selected. He ended up purchasing it. I can't tell you how smooth of a sale that was. He was open to suggestions. He loved the pairs that I put together. And of course, there's credibility behind, the person doing it. I was creating outfits for him. I've been a stylist for years, so this is nothing new. But at the same time, had I just ignored him and treated him like a passerby, he probably would have spent zero to about maybe like $50 at that store. So I'm going to give you another example. And this is actually something that happened to me. As a business owner, I'm always doing networking events, partnerships, reaching out with other business owners and seeing how we can collaborate and support each other, right? So people look at you and they assume that because you're not shopping at the moment, that you can't bring value to their network, or because you guys have different views or different ways of doing things, that there has to be this hostility. And there doesn't. It doesn't have to be hostility. You can just be proud of what you're about and go continue to find people who are about what you're about. So I ran into a business owner on a platform that is dedicated to networking with other business owners. I am all about promoting these events right now. So I'm someone who I'm straight to the point. May not be your business style, it depends on your style, and that's okay. But for me personally, I'm straight to the point when it comes to business. So after you have shown me that you're interested, whatever way that you've found me, whether that be through a Facebook post, um, whether that be through what's another one? A Facebook post, an email, a call, a text, whatever it may be. Once you have shown me you're interested and you are asking questions, I'm just going to get straight to the point. So this is what I'm looking for. This is what I need, and this is what I'm able to provide. That's always how I've been. So on this networking platform, again, introducing myself, saying, "Hey, good afternoon, boss. Individual boss lady, how you doing? I don't want to waste your time because I know how valuable small business owners' time is. So I'm going to cut straight to the gravy. Here is what we're doing, and I sent this out to multiple people on this platform. So some people, they took the bite. They're like, okay, yeah, this sounds great. Let me go ahead and link up and see how many events you have, which one I can attend, what the cost is, yada yada. Some of them not really what they were looking for, and that's okay. But here's an example. I had someone who responded with the words something close to no or no thanks. I'm looking for actual networking. So, what does that mean? Actual networking. Does that mean that this event does not stand or qualify as networking? Or I don't understand what that means. So, at the end of the day, I think that people forget how you encounter people, the interactions you have with people, your positivity, your negativity, your whatever it is that you say. People remember that more than they actually remember what it is that you do or sell. So you may not get a sell with someone in the moment. You may not be seeing eye to eye on how you want to do things. Maybe your definition, not even your definition, because if you look into the definition of networking, there's business networking, social networking, networking in general. That's what this event is about. So at the end of the day, if you don't want to network in that way and you want to network another way, that's okay. But does that mean that it's not actual networking? Just because it's not the way that you intended for it to be or not the way that you see that it should be? Let's just go look at the definition of networking and then you make that decision. But moral to the story here is that it's not, I'm looking for actual networking. Okay. The last thing that I put in that sentence was, let me know if you're interested. Reading is fundamental. And I say this so much because sometimes we create dialogues, conversations, arguments, stories in our heads that never had to be created if we just read in the first place. Let me know if you're interested. That means if you're interested, let me know. Okay. You don't have to feel like you need to explain yourself. You don't have to find a reason or justification for why not. You don't have to, it's simple. Let me know if you're interested. If not, that's okay. So the snappiness, or not even snappiness, let me not even call it that, because sometimes we read things and it's different from how we say it. Which is why sometimes when I read something, I just say it out loud to see how it sounds. So when I say no thanks, I'm looking for actual networking. That does sound a little condescending. And the purpose behind that is what? So we always have to think about our purpose and our intent when we're saying things. And I just believe that if you come across people with a positive intent, purpose, and you execute that, even if in the moment they're not providing value to you, you never know what you can achieve with that person. A simple response of, no thanks, I'm not interested, that's fine. Because guess what? Just because you're not interested in this doesn't mean that I don't want to know more about you, or I don't want to connect with you, or I don't want to see what else we can do to benefit each other mutually. Because some people out there, even though you may not be interested in one thing, they may have something else that is beneficial for you. That's why when I'm not interested in something with the business owner, I never just shut them down negatively. I just let them know, hey, let's stay connected. And if anything changes to where we're mutually able to benefit each other, you'll be the first that I reach out to, because I'd love to partner with you. I just want to make sure it makes sense for both of us. So now we're staying connected. And even if we don't end up partnering together, we still have a positive connection. And if people are looking for a referral, or they're trying to find someone that they want me to refer them to, hey, first person that I thought about in my head, I talked with her about a partnership and it just didn't work out. But she had a great energy and I really loved what she was doing. And this is what she's looking for. Are you looking for that? Okay, great. I'll refer you. Simple. But the negativity, the condescending tones or verbiage in the way that you approach people, why? I mean, it's not going to make people excited about putting you forward to the next person. And I just think that it's unnecessary. So before you speak, before you say anything, ask yourself, what is your intention behind it? That's it. The same thing with putting people in a box. Before you speak, respond, anything, what is your intention behind it? Because if it's not to spread positivity, proactivity, and uplift, and that's what you're claiming you're about, you're going to have an issue with getting people to really see that or feel that. And you're going to miss out on people who could have potentially been very loyal, supportive, and beneficial to your platform and to your network. So just to kind of back it all up, let's go back into it again. Don't miss out on future referrals, number one. And don't come across negative or pessimistic, because at the end of the day, people want to partner with people who are positive, who are full of life, who are vibrant, who are happy, who are humble, who are appreciative, who are uplifting, and not necessarily humble, but people who make them feel good. You know what I mean? When you see a message from an individual, it gets you excited. It makes you feel good. It sounds positive. It sounds uplifting. When you get the opposite of that, that's a negative feeling that you leave with someone. And when you do that, they're not referring you. And they're also not trying to see anything further. And 9 times out of 10, let me not say 9 times out of 10, but many times they're going to go back and tell someone else about that negative experience. So it's important that just because you don't see eye to eye with another business owner, it doesn't mean that you have to be negative about them, towards them. Just because they do things differently than what you do them, it doesn't mean you have to go ranting about it. Just move on, because you never know, that same business owner might be able to support you in ways that you will really appreciate and find valuable to your network in the future, as you continue to build a rapport together, as you continue to grow together, as you continue to understand each other and what each other's benefits are of partnering, or what each other's aspirations are. That's a part of building a relationship. And it's not just in business. So when you think about a business relationship, think about a regular relationship. When you start off a relationship with somebody else and you guys are in that lovey-dovey stage, that's great. When you first meet each other, oh, all that, kiss each other's face and all that stuff, cool. But once there's disagreements, once there's a difference of opinion, how are you going about that with that partner? Okay, we have a difference of opinion, and that's okay. Maybe we can just find a way to compromise. Okay, we can't find a way to compromise. Maybe we're just not meant to be in a relationship, in this kind of relationship. Friendship might be great. Maybe a friendship won't be great, but finding a way to do that in a positive, coming from a positive place, because you never know how someone can benefit you down the line. You just never know. I've had plenty of business owners come to me with ideas or partnerships, and I didn't, get negative or say, no, thanks, I'm looking for actual partnerships. No, I just said, I'm not interested, but thank you. If they ask why, I'll tell them why sometimes, but it's just that simple. And some of those business owners I ended up partnering with in the future. We found something that was mutually beneficial. And a lot of those business owners brought me back referrals and leads, people who actually shopped and people who actually left a lead or an inquiry. So these were really great benefits for me. These were really great relationships that I'm still a part of today, been going strong for 2 to 3 years since the beginning of my businesses, since the middle stage, of some of my businesses. So it's like, for me to just assume that, okay, because I don't like the way she does things, that means she's not going to bring any value. So just going to talk to her any kind of way, or I'm just going to treat her any kind of way, or I'm going to be condescending, or whatever the case may be. It's unnecessary. And then I'm also not going to go and be negative about another person and go talk about them to other people, like, and broadcast that. You get what I'm saying? It's like that whole cancel culture that we talk about. You want to go and broadcast to the whole world about another individual. What is the purpose and intention behind that? What's the intention? That's always, at the end of the day, what's the intention? So my intentions are not negative towards anyone. I wish no one ill. I want everyone to succeed. I want everyone to win at the end of the day. So with that being said, it's very important for me that when I'm doing things, it's coming from a positive place. It's coming from a excited place. And even if it isn't interpreted as that, my actions after, how I follow up, will also be positive and accountability focused. So I think that a lot of times people forget that, and they allow negativity or pessimistic thoughts to intrude the way that they would normally go about dealing with people, just because they don't see the benefit in it now. You know, there's no purpose in negativity or intentionally going out of your way to say something negative to someone. What's the point? What's the purpose? It comes from I don't know what kind of place that comes from. I won't say hurt, I won't say angry, but it doesn't come from a good place. And another thing that I'm finding very ironic is that sometimes these encounters that I have with people that are a little rough are usually people that are in the industry of self-care, coaching, relaxation, things where you would expect they don't need to be perfect, but you would expect encounters with them to be pleasant and positive if that's what you're putting out towards them. Now, if you put out negativity towards them, I'm not by any means condoning it or saying that they should just be all positive and sweet. Of course, with business, we want to be professional, maintain our composure, but wrong is wrong and right is right at the end of the day. So if you put out negativity and you speak to someone in a negative manner, I can't say that I'm going to expect that they're going to respond to you peaches and cream. But if you put out positivity and excitement and there's nothing negative intended behind the way that you're speaking, and there is no negativity, there, um, it's funny that these people that you would be looking up to in these industries and thinking, I'm going to go and partner with her, I'm going to get services from her, would be responding in such a rawr manner, like angry, rah, rah, I don't know what to call that, feisty. But at the end of the day, it's like, why? If something's not for you, it's not for you. Just move on. The time you spend focusing on it, complaining about it, ranting to others about it, broadcasting it, it's time that you could have spent on someone who is for you and really is interested in what you have to provide. But they'll never find you because you stuck and you focused on people that aren't for you or that you don't necessarily agree with, support, or want to engage with, but you're talking about them all the time. You're responding to them unnecessarily. It comes across as almost like that's what you want, not that you want something different. Because if you want something different, what's the point in dwelling on something that you're not interested in? I don't get it. So every second, that 30-second, and this is something that I had to learn and internalize myself. And this is something that my mother, being the amazing businesswoman that she is, taught me. But every second that you spend typing up these long essay of responses, negative essay of responses, trying to be smart and, what's the word? Condescending. Every second that you spend doing that with someone is a waste of your genuine time, your most valuable time towards your business, towards your life, towards your happiness, towards your self-care. So before you do it, just ask yourself, what is the intention? If someone gives you an offer and you're not interested, hey, I'm not interested, but thank you so much. I'll keep your contact information just in case anything ever works for us mutually. Or I'm not interested, but thank you so much. I hope you have an amazing day. It was a pleasure speaking with you. You don't have to say all that, but I'm just saying, like, why you gotta be all raw? Just relax. People aren't here to intentionally hurt you. You didn't wake up in the morning and say, hey, I want to do something to make her mad. That's not what happened. They're going out for their dreams just like you're going out for your dreams. And when that occurs, sometimes people are going to butt heads because they have difference in opinions or a different way of doing things. But you don't even have to butt heads when you have a different way of doing things. You just have to come to a conclusion, a mature professional conclusion. Yes, I'm interested. No, I'm not. Maybe we can find something in the middle. It's simple. So, I want to talk about that message. Don't put people in a business networking box. Don't assume that because someone doesn't have a lot of money now, that they won't be ready to spend with you in the future. I had clients who in the beginning could not spend any kind of money, any kind of funding on social media management, website design, or anything. And came back to me and dropped $500 or $1K. And I'm thinking, this is amazing. Like, this is the same person in the beginning who really couldn't do it. They couldn't afford anything. I mean, not even, the sample basket that I was selling. And that's not to say anything negative about it. It's just to say, like, that's crazy to be able to see that growth. It's an amazing thing. I feel extremely happy to be able to be the one that they selected to do that, because they know I love what I do and I'm happy to do it for them. But at the end of the day, if I had treated them negatively, if I had been unprofessional, ignored them, because sometimes people love to ghost and not respond. That's weird. But, you know, if I had done all of those things just because they weren't shopping with me immediately, or because we didn't see eye to eye, or because I didn't feel like they were bringing me value, we wouldn't have the relationships that we do today. And they wouldn't be referring people and tagging people and sharing people and sending people to my website and posting stuff and promoting stuff for free, most importantly. Now, I do have partnerships, but some of my clients just do it for free. So, and I've already expressed that they don't have to, but they want to. So with that being said, don't judge people based off of a situation that they're in the moment. Don't judge someone based off of what they're offering you in the moment if it's not something negative and hateful and, you know, just bad. If it's just something different from what you're expecting or what you want, different is okay. It's okay. That's the moral to the story. So I hope that if you're a business owner and you find it disheartening sometimes when you deal with people because of the condescending tones or because of whatever it may be, just keep going and keep being yourself, and don't match other people's poor execution or poor energy. Elevate, level up, and show them what great looks like. And once you've done that, move on to someone who appreciates, or just move on right then and there. But just because you are negative doesn't mean that I have to become negative with you. Okay, it didn't work out. We'll keep it moving. That's okay. You know, have a great day. I wish you the best with your business. And that's it. It's just that simple. All right, now I'm making certain calculations in my head. I know I'm going to do this with that and that with that person, and this isn't going to work. And that's cool. On to the next. We're keeping it moving. We don't have time to keep dwelling. So that's something really important that I do want to express. And I truly believe that when you're dealing with the business and you guys are discussing business, you know, make sure that you remember different is okay. Different may not always be for you. Everyone is not your cup of tea, and that's okay. But to leave a pleasurable experience in their head when they've spoken to you or when they've talked to you or interacted with you, you're putting yourself one step forward in the game, because when they think of the services that you provide or the opportunities that you discussed with them that maybe they didn't see it in the moment or it didn't benefit them at the time, they're going to think of people who left those positive experiences, not the ones that made them say, ugh, you know what I mean? Or the ones that made them think, why? You know? So just take a deep breath. And here's my last tip that I'm going to leave for everybody. If you find yourself feeling emotional, irritated, or whatever it may be when you read something in business, before you respond, take a deep breath, compose yourself, and then respond. Because you don't understand how icky it is to be dealing with someone who does not know how to speak to people professionally and kindly, humanely, okay? Dealing with people that don't have any kind of manners. I don't know what's going on. I can't blame your mama, because some people, your mama teach you and you just don't do it. So I'm not even going to bring your mom into this. I'm just going to say that when you come across like that with people, it's very hard to want to do business with you, want to speak to you, or even like deal with you. So just keep it straight to the point, keep it professional, and keep it moving. Just like that. Bam. And like I said, if you see something that makes you upset, don't respond in the moment. Take a deep breath. Leave it alone. Don't look at it. Come back to it in about 1 to 3 business days and respond in your best element. Okay? In your calmest mode, in your most professional and sound mode. That's when you respond to that message. So when someone comes to you and they say, this is just an example, but if they say, hey, let's partner together. I want you to send me 10 packs of your soap for free. You pay for shipping, and I'll post one picture, and I'll tag your Facebook business. That's the offer. Okay. And then on top of that, I want you to pay me $50. Okay. Clearly, that offer is not mathing, right? The math is not mathing. It's not making sense. The sense is not sensing. But just because somebody comes to you with that and you think that's crazy, off the wall, may even feel like it's disrespectful, um, here's a simple way to respond. Hey, thank you so much for this offer. I'm going to keep your information. If we ever have an offer that's mutually beneficial, I'm going to make sure I contact you because I love your energy or because I really want to partner with some amazing business owners or amazing influencers. And I just can't afford to do that right now based off of my business needs or my business budget. Or don't even put the budget, just say it just needs to be mutually beneficial. So maybe we could sit down and discuss a partnership or send them a link to a sample. Here's a free sample. If you just want to take a free sample, just use it. You don't even have to promote it. If you like it, keep it. And if you don't, that. But that's simple, you know? Boom, bam. Simple. So, that's the positivity. That's a proactivity that I'm leaving with everyone. I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day or night, depending on when you're watching or listening to this podcast. And I can't wait to talk to you all again. I look forward to the rest of season 18. We're going to be talking about self-care, relaxation, skincare, and, just maybe wrapping up on a couple of business mindset topics and affirmations of the year before we get ready to move into the new year. Thank you all so much for watching and listening to the Boss Babe Blog Podcast. Katan is out.